Welcome back to the KCC. This is Kenny's Chelsea channel, and today we're going to be previewing Chelsea Football Club's Premier League match against Everton coming up this Sunday in match day 17 of the Premier League season. So, I personally am very excited for this match. I do believe it's going to be a very tough match for Chelsea. And it's going to be another test for us to prove along the way of our maturity and our development as a young squad. Because one thing that we can have for certain is that this Sunday we're going to be coming up against some old fashioned British Brexit bully ball being masterminded by the one and only Sean Dyche, Mr. Utter Woke Nonsense. So Enzo Maresca has a tough task on his hands because he's definitely going to have the tactical advantage, I would say. But does his team have the physical endurance and advantage to come away with the win this match? Of course, coming from a Chelsea fan, I'm going to say, of course we do. But it's not going to be as easy as we think. We might think of Everton as some bottom of the table, hasn't been great now for probably since Lukaku was their striker, or since maybe a few years back when Ancelotti somehow on planet Earth he ended up managing Everton and James Rodriguez was convinced to go join their squad. But in all reality, Chelsea have had a very tough time playing at Goodison Park the last few seasons. In the last 7 matches at Goodison Park, we have only scraped 1 win and 1 draw. That's 4 points in 7 matches. So from a possible 21 points, we've only scraped up 4 points against Everton in the last few seasons. Since about 2019, I think this goes back. So it's definitely going to be a tough match this Sunday. Expect nothing less. One thing for certain is that the boys are going to keep marching forward, aiming to get those 3 points like we have been doing every single week in the Premier League. So let's jump right into it. Starting lineup, I'm going to have same lineup, same players, but my idea of the two lineups, one side is going to be the 4-2-3-1, which we are going to start off with, and the other side is going to be how I imagine we're going to end up playing on the ball. So I'm extremely confident that this lineup that I have predicted for Sunday's match is going to be the same exact lineup that Enzo Maresca chooses to go with on Sunday. So starting at goalkeeper, I do see Robert Sanchez continuing to be our number one choice in the Premier League. I really don't feel like Jorgensen has done enough to take that position away from him. He's been playing okay in the Conference League, but of course he's only had a few run of cup matches. He had an amazing game against Heidenheim, but still, in my opinion, I don't think he has done enough to take that away from Robert Sanchez. And of course, Robert Sanchez isn't perfect either. He's got his bonehead moments that he has from time to time. But this season, his saves have been phenomenal. And I feel like that's kind of been his story with Chelsea so far. He's been always a little shaky with the ball at his feet, but amazing saves. And surprisingly enough, even though he might be a little shaky with the ball at his feet when it gets played back to him and he's under a little bit of pressure, but playing those long balls, in my opinion, he has been doing an excellent job of that and kickstarting the attack for us this season. So that's definitely something that I think we might not see too much of this Sunday because I do see Everton sitting back and just having a very strong, compact, low block defense against us. But I do see Robert Sanchez starting at goalkeeper. Then with Marco Correa, who's been in hot form, scoring 2 goals in his last 2 games. But he is suspended as he got a red card at the end, literally after the final whistle in our last Premier League game. So I do see Renato Vega starting at left back, which honestly I am not too mad about that because Cucurella has been amazing, but he's a very small guy. He's fiery, he's fierce, but he's still a very small guy in stature. And Renato Vega is the complete opposite. I mean, at just a young 21 years old, this guy is massive. He's a huge rock in the back line. So, honestly, coming up against Everton, I do feel like we're going to need some height. We're going to need some size to defend ourselves on corners, on set pieces, defend ourselves against those twin towers that Everton has sitting in their center back partnership. So I do feel like Renato Vega starting at left back and forming the left side of that back three when we are in attack. Of course, he does have the ability to invert into that midfield, but just from what I saw from him in the Thursday match in the Conference League, where Enzo Maresca played him as a left-sided center back in that back three and had Cucurella inverting, I do see that happening again. I believe it's going to be Renato Vega as a left-sided in the back three. Then we're going to have Levi Colwell in the center, and he's just going to be doing what he does best, moving the ball vertically, doing a great job of that, and hopefully he's able to have a good match defensively. He's still young, and as aggressive and good as he is, I do feel like he still has his moments where you can see that level of immaturity from him. So I do hope to see the best of Levi Colwell this weekend. And alongside next time, we're going to have a cool, calm, composed, level-headed guy with a ton of height, Tosin Adarabioyo, starting in the right side. And I do believe he's going to be our right-sided center back, especially when we form a back three. And then at right back, I see Malo Gusto coming back into the side with Romeo Lavia still being out injured for who knows how long. Enzo Maresca says he might be available for the match on Sunday, but I'm not going to hold my breath. I don't see him even coming on as a late substitute. I think he's just going to rest this match and hopefully be ready for next week. And also in the back line, I just wanted to mention too, it seems like Wesley Fofana is going to be injured until at least late January, perhaps even rolling into February. And then Benoit Badiashile, we still don't really have a stable timeline on his return. It's very sad. He was starting to break into that team after Wesley Fofana went out injured, but it looks like Badiashile is going to be out for an extended period of time. So tough luck, but sadly, it's part of the game, and we're just going to have to deal with that. So, best of luck to him. Best of luck to the recovery of all our players that are out injured currently. Reece James also getting back into partial team training. Hopefully, we'll see him soon enough in 2025. But let's get into the midfield. So, as you'll see in the 4-2-3-1, I do see it being a midfield partnership of Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. But when you see us move into the other lineup where we're on the ball, I do see Enzo going up, playing in that four in the attacking midfield, basically almost like a left-sided eight alongside Cole Palmer. And then I do see Malo Gusto inverting into the midfield next to Caicedo in this match. Whether he's going to do that or maybe use the fullbacks as traditional fullbacks, that is a possibility. Enzo Maresca has been going back and forth depending on the opponent. I do have a strong feeling that Malo Gusto is going to be inverting next to Caicedo, but we'll see how the match plays out. So we have Moises and Enzo in the midfield, the 200 million pound midfield, who have been playing amazing this season. They finally seem to have gotten in sync and they're just playing great football together. Right in front of them, I do see Cole Palmer playing in that 10 position. Cole Palmer, I feel like, is going to be extremely influential. I'm sure we all remember the last time he played against Everton. That was at Stamford Bridge, but we came away with a 6-0 victory, and Cole Palmer had himself a match. So I do see him being the pivotal point, the pivotal player in our setup. Of course, it's easy to say that Cole Palmer is going to be our guy, but honestly, I do feel like this Sunday he's going to prove to everyone once again why he is the best Englishman in the entire universe. And on the right side, starting at right wing, it could be a toss-up between Noni Madueke and Pedro Neto. I do put my money on Pedro Neto starting at the weekend because we saw that little 45-minute cameo from Noni. So I do expect Pedro Neto to start at right wing, and maybe we see Noni come on late into the game depending how the game plays out. Then at left wing, Jadon Sancho, I do expect him to continue his hot run of form. I do not believe Joao Felix is going to get in ahead of him. I don't think he did enough this Thursday in the Conference League to deserve a spot in the starting lineup, honestly. So Jadon Sancho has been playing amazing lately, and I expect him to continue that hot run of form against Everton, especially since I expect him to play that low block, and Jadon Sancho as well as Cole Palmer are excellent players at breaking down that low block and really just giving us that advantage. And then up top, Nicholas Jackson. He's had a great start to the season, nine Premier League goals so far this season. And I do see him having a tough time on Sunday because I feel like Nicholas Jackson, as much as he has improved, he still struggles against bigger, stronger defenders. So I don't think he's going to have the greatest influence in the match on Sunday, but of course, he's still going to be linking up the play and kind of opening up spaces for others. So, getting into the score prediction, I predict this game to go 2-0 in Chelsea's favor. I don't expect it to be a demolition in and out like the 6-0 victory we had last season at Stamford Bridge. I do see it more being a very tough start to the game and possibly later on in the first half, possibly even into the second half is where we score our first goal. I do see Cole Palmer being the opening scorer of this game. And then I see this. I see a goal and an assist from Cole Palmer. Goal from Cole Palmer either late in the first half or early in the second half. And I see the second goal coming from none other than Tosin Alarabiolio off a corner assisted by Cole Palmer. So let's see how great my sidekick skills are. That's my score and match prediction for Sunday's match. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit subscribe on the channel, KCC Kenny's Chelsea channel, where we talk all things Chelsea. Please leave a like on the video and drop a comment down below. Let's get a conversation started and talk about Sunday's match. So, until the next one, guys. Peace.